What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Shit Show. I'm one of your hosts, Anthony Costanzo. With me, as always, Brian Rooney. Say what's up.
What's up?
Unfortunately, we lost our third anchor, and it's only our third episode. But luckily, we have our friend Falco here to replace him. Falco.
What's up, guys?
So, Brian, why don't you kick us off for tonight?
Yeah, sure. So we've been trying to start on topic, but I'm gonna break the rules a little bit right here. I'm not starting this on topic. So you guys know, anyone that's been listening knows, I travel a shitload, and that is frustrating as all hell. And nothing changed last week. I was going to the middle of nowhere in North Carolina, which already sounds bad, but it started even worse because I live very close to Newark, but Newark Airport is very expensive to fly out of, so I don't get to do it often. My job allots a certain budget, and to stay under that budget, a lot of times I got to go to Philadelphia, which is almost 2 hours from my house, so that is already a bad way to start business trips. So I get there, no traffic, so I'm like, all right, maybe it'll be okay. It's looking up a little bit. Pull into the garage, find a parking spot, feeling good, like it's gonna be a good one. Like I was feeling it. Check in, I go. Now I have status with the airline, so I have what they call Premier Access. So I go to the shorter line usually, except today there was more people with status than not status checking in. So the Premier Access line was actually longer than the regular economy line. But the way Philly is set up, there's really no way to know that because it's a freaking zigzag of mazes and just like it's just a disaster. So you don't really know. So I get there and I'm already pissed off. I'm like, I could have went on the other line, would have been a little quicker. Whatever. I have time. I'm early. Standing right in front of me is a young family, husband, wife, and a kid. The boy was 2 years old or so, and I'm not good at ages, so by two, I pretty much mean like anywhere from toddler to like preteen, because I don't really judge that. But
I'm on that estimate.
yeah, I mean he was standing, so at least a toddler. He could have been a small kid, so maybe preteen. I don't know, anywhere from 2 to 10. Let's just go there. Pretty big
Later,
range.
the story will show that he's 14 years old.
Yeah, when he got in his car and drove away. So this kid is standing there, and he is just like a bad, like making noise, banging things, and the parents just, it's like they're just like done, like they gave up, they don't care, like they're not telling him to stop, they're not looking at him, and he's just banging things, doing whatever, and then he stops, and he's like fidgeting a little bit. I'm like, oh good, maybe like he'll pull out a toy, like something to preoccupy himself. Kid pulls out a harmonica. This kid he's just blowing into the harmonica, and it's not music, it's just noise, and loud noise, because kid had a set of lungs on him. He was blowing into this thing, and it was fucking loud, and it's going. Now this line was relatively long, so we're standing there waiting, and he's just blowing on this harmonica, and I want to say something, but I'm like, I don't like starting confrontations with people. Like I just want to check in, go through security, and just call it a day. But like I'm thinking about it, and the more his kid's blowing in this harmonica, the more I'm thinking about it. But then this guy, I see him looking. I'm like, this guy's got me. He's gonna say it. I don't have to worry about it. This guy's gonna do it. This guy was probably around our age, maybe a little older or so, and he just looked like he was having a bad day. Like he was looked either hungover, extremely tired, still drunk. I don't know what his deal was, but he looked like he was just a bad day for him. And then he just goes, excuse me. I'm like, yes, do it. And he goes, do you mind? I'm like, yes. And he goes, I wish he just stopped there because I was all happy. He's like, excuse me, do you mind? But then he continued. And the next words he said was, it is too damn early. And then I put my head down and said, this argument's over because it's fucking 12:30 in the afternoon. It is not too damn early. So this guy gave me some hope by saying, like, say stop. And then he just ruined it by saying it's early because now any credibility this guy had is gone.
He might as well have been like, excuse me, do you mind telling me where you got that harmonica?
He might as well. Or he would play like a kazoo and start playing with them. Like,
like Raffy?
So
Baby beluga.
in the deep blue sea, swim so wild and swim so free.
Oh,
Anyway,
you know the whole thing.
my mom teaches preschool. Well, taught. She retired. Yeah. So this guy just fucking ruined it. And now I'm like, do I say something now? Like, do I help him? Like, maybe help his cause, even though it's not early. But I just said, screw it. We're almost there. Forget about it. So we go through security, which is never easy for me since I go through a tools. It's always a problem. But just fast forward through that. Now I'm all past the TSA. I passed the checkpoint, going to the gate. Sit down. Who sits down across me with this fucking family?
The Blues Brothers.
Husband, wife, and same 2-year-old to preteen child sits next to me. His harmonica is gone. Don't know where it is. Maybe back in his pocket. Maybe someone stole it. I don't know. Don't care. It's gone. Now he's just making loud noises and being a child, which I can sort of deal with. So I'm just ignoring it. And then once it got a little loud, I walked away and just went for a little walk until it was time to board. Get on the plane. Now, I had a layover somewhere. I don't really remember where, but it's kind of irrelevant. But I just wanted to get on this plane, relax a little bit. It was one of those small planes that have one seat on one side and two on the other. So I had the one seat side. I'm sitting there thinking I'm going to relax, maybe watch a movie, close my eyes. Kid and the mother are in the two seats next to my one seat.
Of course. Right next to you.
Right next to me. And I'm like, this kid's going to pull harmonica out again and stop playing on the damn plane. Like, I can't fucking deal with this. I don't know where the father is, don't care, but kid and mom right next to me. No sounds, no musical instruments. I'm like, all right, maybe we'll be okay. We take off. As soon as we take off, we're airborne. No harmonica this time, but he has a fucking maraca.
A didgeridoo.
I am all about like gifted children, like these musical geniuses, like something. But this kid was not musically inclined at all. And
That's a glorified rattle.
Yes, it really is a glorified rattle. My 9-month-old nephew has maracas that he plays with, and he sounded better than this kid. And so he's shaking the maraca, then he's playing it like drums on the freaking tray table, and it's really loud, really annoying. The flight attendant finally, like, I guess she had enough. She comes down and tells him, like, you got to stop. Like, there's people trying to relax and get places. Like, you can't be making all these loud noises. So the kid doesn't respond. Maybe it's because he's too young and isn't really talking much. I don't know the deal. But so he stopped.
How old is this child? You're making the story very confusing.
I don't know, 2 to 10.
2 to 10. He's probably like 17.
He might have been. He had a little mustache coming. I don't know. So he stops. 5 minutes later, he's shaking the fucking maraca again. Flight attendant comes back down, says the same thing. He stops. Another like 10 minutes goes by, and he's shaking this fucking maraca. And she gave up at this point. She's not even telling him to stop anymore. Everyone on the plane has given up at this point, saying, like, the flight attendant can't get him to stop. This kid is not understanding. The mom is a fucking retard because she's not stopping him. The dad is nowhere to be found, which is probably, like, foreshadowing a future there. And it's just a bad flight. I'm tired. And it's not early, like I said earlier, but I'm tired, and I don't want to deal with the sound. Finally, we land where we are. My layover, I don't remember, probably Chicago because I was delayed. Get on that plane, no loud kids, nothing. It was a plane, good flight. I'm like, all right, things are gonna turn around from here on out. It's gonna get better. So I land in this airport. It was in North Carolina. It was Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's a really, really small airport. In this airport, like when you're past security, there's actually no restaurants or anything. There's just vending machines. That's how small it is.
We're going to land, but there's already a plane in the airport. You have to wait for the next one.
You have to wait for the one plane to take off. So I get there. Now, I had my rental car reservation already made, so I didn't think there's going to be any issue. So I'm walking over towards Hertz, because that's usually what I use. And Fayetteville is a big military airport. Like, there's a lot of, like, uniformed military people walking around. And I was walking over to Hertz, and guy in military uniform was walking next to me, going towards Hertz as well. And I was like, oh, go in front of me. Not thinking anything of it. Like, uniform military, show him some respect. I already had my reservation. Maybe he doesn't. And I wasn't really paying attention to what their conversation was with the Hertz lady and this military man, but he did seem very agitated. And then he walked away and sat down in like just anger. And I'm like, maybe he didn't have a reservation.
Oh my
So
God! Please tell me you got the last car.
I wish, when you don't want to be in an airport anymore, respect for military goes out the door. Like, if I would have known what was going to happen, I would have not let him go in front of me. So, as bad as that sounds. So I go up there and I was like, yeah, I'm picking up. At 2 o'clock was my reservation time. It's now like 3:30 since I was delayed. Um, so she's like, oh, okay, I have your reservation here. Unfortunately, I'm waiting for returns. Like, okay, what does that mean? I don't have any cars. What?
I don't understand.
I did not understand. So the rental car woman at the rental car stand is telling me she doesn't have any rental cars to give me. She's like, I am waiting for people to return. I'm like, well, when are you expecting a return? She goes, well, I'm expecting some at 3 o'clock. No, it's after 3. And then like every hour, like they come in. I'm like, fuck. Like, I'm like, all right. Um, I guess I'm gonna try to get a car from somewhere else because there was Enterprise, Budget, Avis, all these other ones over there. So I'm like, I'm gonna try to get a car elsewhere. So I walked away. Every rental car place was out of fucking cars. How is that possible? There was a total of 5 rental car companies, all had 0 cars. And now, like, it was like an hour or so that went by, and that military guy finally got his car, and I'm like, fuck, if I wasn't being nice, that would have been me getting in that damn car. And then, like, another half hour later, I finally got in my car.
So what's the actual point of having a reservation for a car if there are no
The
cars?
same as a doctor's appointment.
I can't imagine saying, like, at a rental car kiosk, like, I don't have any cars to give you. That's like you said, like a doctor's appointment. That's like saying you go to the doctor's appointment and then saying, I don't have a table to sit you on, so we're gonna do this in the waiting room. Like, no, like there's always a table to put a patient on. Like there should always be a car to give a customer, especially when you had reservations. I don't understand how you don't have enough cars. And it's not like it's a happening town. It's the middle of nowhere. There was nothing to do.
That's what they probably like severely understock the amount of cars they have. They're like, oh, there's only 10 people that live in this town.
It was god awful.
Well, my favorite part about this whole story, though, is when you explain what this kid is about to pull out of his bag. 50 guesses, I'm not saying harmonica.
And another 50 guesses, you're not going to guess maraca.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of unexpected things like that harmonica, I have a little story today on my way to work this morning. So I live in Hoboken, and I walk down to the PATH train every day, and it's about a mile walk. And if you don't know anything about Hoboken, all you need to know is that about 85% of the population is either a pregnant woman or a person with a dog. This is it.
Do you
All
ever
right.
get both together?
Yeah.
All right, just making sure.
So you walk. I'm walking down the street. Going to. I've got my my earbuds in. Listen to my podcasts on the way down to the train, and a couple of people walking their dogs and stuff. You don't think anything of it, right? This guy, out of the corner of my eye, I see this guy, and he's got this this big black hairy animal, and I'm immediately it's just like, oh, it's just another dog. I'm not thinking about it. I'm just walking by, and something there had me going like, something was different, right? So I'm about to take a second glance and to see what this was, but before I even look, I hear this little girl with her mother behind me, and the little girl goes, "Oh, look, mommy, it's a piggy!" And I turn back around. There's this giant pig on a leash.
Oh shit!
And he's just laying there. doing pig panting,
Was it at
and
least a cute
and
pig?
then this little girl's petting this pig.
Was it cute?
I, I, I don't know. I didn't have time to think about that. All I was concerned was the fact that there was a pig. And then there's a cop car coming down the street, and this guy does everything he can to hide the pig from the view of the cop. And now I need to know: is it illegal to own a pig in Hoboken?
Maybe it's illegal to treat one like a dog.
Well, now I just like I kind of hope that I see this every day. Like I'm going to be actively looking for this now because I take the same route to work every day at around the same time. I'm really hoping that this is a reoccurring event.
I actually have seen pigs, like, not on leashes, like people walking around holding, like, what are they, potbelly pigs that they call those little pieces of shit?
This thing was huge.
When you say huge, can you give me some kind of estimate?
um, I'm thinking like slightly lengthwise, slightly less than a Saint Bernard
Oh,
on stubby legs.
It's a pretty big pig.
On a leash. Like, does he have a pig pen in his apartment?
did it look like clean or did it look like muddy? Like maybe he did.
It looked clean. It looked perfectly clean. The thing looked exhausted, and like it was also going to pass out. Though it was just laying there on the sidewalk.
Look, Mama Piggy.
Was he
Yeah, and
walking
then
around with a bag to pick up the pig shit?
no, actually, he was probably one of those assholes. But
What does pig shit look like?
I don't know. I didn't see it. But like
Bacon?
the little girl asked, she's like, "Oh, can I pet him?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And the mom's like, "Yeah, go ahead." Really?
Yeah, parenting is kind of different now, which brings me back to an airport. Sorry, I mean I spent so much time there. Most of my experience come from there. Um, but like I was saying, like those two
I feel like you're
parents.
Tom Hanks in
Yeah,
Terminal.
I don't know what I am, but I'm always stuck there. Um, like I was saying, those two parents sucked. I saw this other guy. This was actually recently. This was today. Um, he had his son, and they both like the son. This kid was like 2 years old. He was like a little toddler. He could barely freaking walk around. So he was not two to preteen. He was like two in that range. He was still a little tiny.
Yeah, he was on the floor. He couldn't walk, so he had to be about 6 or 7.
This was like a little tight clip, we'll call him. Um, so he was kind of like wobbling around, holding onto his dad's pants because his dad was too busy texting with both hands to hold his son's hand. Um, and he was yelling, "Daddy, I gotta pee! Daddy, I gotta pee!" And I'm like, "Shit, I gotta pee! Like, I don't want to." So I go into the bathroom and they came in after me. And I'm standing at the urinal, and I guess the kid forgot he had to pee because his dad went to pee, and he decided to stand next to his father. Now, you guys know how disgusting guys are, but anyone listening that's a guy knows how disgusting we are. But if there's any females listening, this is how gross we are. When you stand at a urinal, there is just pubic hairs everywhere. Like when you look down, you see pubic hairs all over this freaking thing. And this kid is holding on to it. Like that's like instead of holding on to his dad, now he's holding on to a urinal. And his dad sees this, and you're thinking like, oh no, don't touch that. He just doesn't care. And I'm like, wow, like if I was a parent and my kid went to touch that, I would like dip him into like some kind of sanitizer. Like that's just gross. So and now
I'm actually picturing you just flushing the toilet, being like, "Wash your hands."
so many people don't wash their hands, and I have said that before. Like when it was like a crowded bathroom and you see like someone pee and just like not go to the sink and walk up like wash your hands.
You just go, "Ew."
So this kid is holding on to the urinal where there's definitely pubic hairs and
Oh.
piss and like there's always like dried like yellow circles of piss on these things too. Like they're just really disgusting.
Residual splash damage.
Yeah, like they're just the grossest things in the world. And so he's holding on to it. Now I go to wash my hands, The dad, of course, doesn't wash his hands, and he just says to the kid, who I see like in the mirror, like behind me, the kid's still holding onto his urinal, and he just goes, "All right, come on." Like, not let's wash you off, just all right, come on. And as he's walking out, the kid puts his thumb in his mouth. I'm like, oh,
Oh no!
yeah,
Oh, it's grody.
oh god, like that kid definitely has like herpes or something now. Like, oh. Anyway, so I'm gonna bring us slightly back on topic here. So I actually was playing some games this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, busted out my 3DS, took some of the dust off of it, and you were talking very highly of Shovel Knight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy Shovel Knight.
Nice.
I go to the eShop. I did
Tell
not
me
buy
it's
it.
down.
No, no, no. I wish it was down, and I didn't buy Shovel Knight. I instead went to the Virtual Console and bought Super Mario Brothers 3.
Nice.
And when I initially told you that, I said no regrets. I regret this. Now, I don't know if you guys, and I know you've played Super Mario 3. Falco, have you ever played this when you were younger, Super Mario 3?
Yeah, when I was younger, I played it.
Yeah. So I remember loving this game, like it being challenging, difficult. I remember I used to play that with my mother. We would always try to like beat levels without getting the warp whistles, but of course I never get the warp whistles and just go all the way to level 8.
Yep, level 3 and the castle, dude.
Yeah. So I stopped playing this game, and the first few levels, like, it was so nostalgic and great, and I'm like, yeah, like, no regrets. This is awesome. Like, fuck Shovel Knight. Like, Super Mario, yes. And by the time I beat World 1, I realized it's not a good game.
What do you mean?
If you go back and play Super Mario Brothers 3 right
Well,
now,
I actually played it last week, so
okay, so this is what I'm getting at here. These levels, they last like 15 to 25 seconds. They're all
yeah,
super short. And I remember them being so long. Like level 4 in World 1, the one where like all those freaking like things moving around, you had to like platform or jump around, someone would fall when you jumped on. I remember that being super hard. It was like a total of 6 jumps and you're at the end. It was so short, so easy, and I was so disappointed, and I was mad. I'm like, I wish I would have bought Shovel Knight. Like, this is terrible. Like, I feel like my childhood was a lie as I was playing this game.
from day one I like knew where the whistles were, so it was World 1 and then the end of the game.
The end of that game, that was when Bowser would jump on the bricks and you had to try to make him fall through a rip.
Oh yeah, he kills himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't really have to do anything. You just avoid him.
So I played that, and then also on the 3DS, I started playing Luigi's Mansion, which is freaking awesome. It is like Ghostbusters with Luigi. You have a vacuum, and like you suck ghost into the vacuum. It is so much fun, and it is hard.
You really need to get on Shovel Knight though.
When it goes to Vita, I'll get on it.
Why? I still don't understand why you're waiting if you have a DS.
You don't understand the addiction of trophies.
Oh God, you didn't talk about trophies now.
I am going to talk about trophies shortly after I finish Luigi's Mansion. So this game, I thought it was going to be like all Nintendo games. I feel like are relatively easy, but Luigi's Mansion, I had to go on YouTube like quite a few times to get some kind of like walkthrough help because I was stuck. It is actually difficult. Like I don't think a child could actually play through that game. Like it's hard. And I had left my 3DS at Dana's house, and she was trying to play it, and she got stuck too. Like it's hard. But yeah, trophies. You know how addicting trophies are. You love them, and you'll eventually learn as you play your PlayStation more. The trophies are the most addictive type of achievement. I don't know.
No, we'll see. I mean, I just got into my PlayStation, so we'll see.
Yeah, you'll get on
I
that.
get addicted to that.
You'll stop buying games on PlayStation when you know there's easy trophies just to get them. So I was playing Limbo on the Vita, which
Oh, great game.
yeah, I never played it when it came out, and I finally got it. It was free on PlayStation Plus a couple months ago, so I got it. I just beat it actually like before recording this podcast, and I got a nice silver trophy at the end, and it was glorious. That game, that was another super hard game. Like
That game was kind of just like the twisted theme of it.
I don't understand it. Like, I don't. Was there really a story besides like whatever you're assuming?
Like I mean, it leaves a lot to the imagination.
Yeah, I mean, I just it was really weird. I didn't understand what like
It
those
was
things.
extremely eerie. The way they do the sound effects and like the no music, it's just kind of it's nuts.
I played a lot of that game with no sound though.
Uh, you're missing out on like half of the experience then.
Explain this to me. What are those like freaking colorful things that drop onto your head and make you walk backwards? You remember that?
Not really. It's been a while. I mean, I played that game like right when it came out.
Yeah, it's these weird things that like just fuck with your controls. You need to get somewhere to get them off, and I don't know, it was really challenging. I was surprised at how hard it was, and again, I got stuck in that a bunch of times where I was just kept dying over and over again. And then I was looking at the trophy list, and there's a trophy to like beat the game at like one like type of save state, like you're not quitting the game with only dying like 5 times. Definitely going for that. That would be my next thing.
I was I had built a like an emulation station thing with the Retro Pi for the Raspberry Pi this past week, and I got these two retro Super Nintendo controllers. And it's just fantastic. We've been playing like old school NES and Super NES and Sega Genesis. Um, Aladdin and the Lion King on Sega Genesis. They don't want you to win those games.
Oh, the Lion King. I remember I got to when he was like old Simba,
Yeah.
like once, and I was so excited, and I jumped up and down because I was so happy. But old systems, when you make a lot of
Oh
like,
no!
yeah, when you move around near those old systems, it's not good. They freeze.
It frees, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh man, I remember like back in the day getting to like the last level of Sonic and Knuckles, and my sister ran down the steps and jumped onto the floor, and the game just died right when I was at boss. And I just, it was very quiet. There were no words. I just got up, turned the system off, pressed the
Defeated.
power button on the TV, and walked out of the room.
Absolutely defeated. That's something that like the generation playing games now, like after us, they don't understand. They don't.
Oh, no, Xbox is trying to bring it back.
But
Every time I try to play a game on there, something goes wrong.
regardless of Xbox trying to bring back fuck ups and freezes, no one except our generation older will understand playing a game, pausing it, leaving a note or yelling, "Mom, Dad, don't shut it off. I'm gonna finish it tomorrow." And just leaving your system on overnight so you can finish it tomorrow. And nothing is worse when I was a kid, I didn't have a system in my room. It was like the family room. So I always had dogs, and nothing would be worse than leaving it paused and a dog would do something, bump into it, hit it next morning, frozen, or just a whole like weird color palette on the screen because the cartridge got bumped. Ugh.
It was how well do you recall playing Contra?
I never played Contra without the Konami code, but I
That's fine.
very, very
All right.
well.
So the first thing we did, like when I put this thing together and I was putting some ROMs on it, and the first thing that I powered up was Super Mario 3. But right after that, my roommate got home and he was just like belligerently drunk, and we started playing Contra, and he wants in. So I give him one of the remotes. We're playing. Obviously, put the code in, right? I mean, you're not beating that game with 5 lives. That's not happening.
Is it 5 or 3?
I think you start with 5. Maybe it is. It might have been 3.
I feel like it's 3.
It's very possible that it was 3, but I don't know because I immediately put the code in. But so the like second level of that game, right? It's like vertical based, so there's a whole bunch of landings, and you're just jumping up and up and up.
Yep.
You recall this? Okay.
Oh,
So
I recall that.
so he's just smashed, right? And he's just getting mad at everything that's happening. So he's getting shot by bullets, and he's like, "Oh, you believe that? Oh, do you see what just happened?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, you jumped into a bullet and died." So I started getting annoyed waiting for him, so I just started jumping, going up the platforms. And in that game, if you left the second person behind and you jumped up and the screen moved, he died. So then I just decided to keep doing that I was like, you gotta just catch up to me. You gotta catch up to me. Now he's getting mad at me. He's just like, oh, you don't even wait for me. You don't even tell me what to do. I was like, you're an adult. Climb the side of this pixelated mountain with me.
That game, dude, all the guns you can get, I still don't remember them. Like when you would shoot like those weird floating things, what the hell are those things? Number one.
I don't know. Like you would just you would shoot it out and then like a letter would fall down with wings on it.
Yeah, you got like fucking pilot wings with a letter in it. I remember S.
Shotgun.
No, there was like the weird spray. Like it was.
Shotgun.
Yeah, but like, wasn't there a shotgun that did like a crosshair, like the 4 thing going across?
No. There's like I only know because I just played this. There was the shotgun, which was the S, that would shoot a spray of like 3 or 4 bulbs out.
Yeah,
and then there was a laser gun.
Yep.
Right.
I remember the laser.
There was
machine gun.
There was a machine gun, which I think that might be what you're thinking of, and it has like these big red bullets that it would shoot out, but it looked like it could only keep up with having 4 animated on the screen at a time.
Yeah. There was one where you would shoot it and you would pick it up and it looked like it would do nothing to your gun.
Oh, yeah, no, it's the R, which is rifle, which just gives you back your original gun, which is just a complete waste.
That was the game at the end, like
there's a flamethrower also. It shoots a circular ball thing.
Yes, that I remember. I do remember that. But that code, was it 99 lives or 30 lives?
The one that everybody knows is 30 lives.
There was a 99, right?
Yeah, it was like you doubled up on the BA.
Yeah, easy enough. So creative, Konami. So I don't know if Falco knows what a Raspberry Pi is, because I certainly didn't until you told me.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I knew you didn't. Just a quick explanation.
Card-sized microcomputer that you could just do whatever you want with. Like, there's tons of projects out there that you could mess around with, and I've done a handful of them already. And then after a while, it was just kind of sitting there because at one point I had it streaming like movies and stuff, but now that I have my new systems, they all do all that crap for me. So I was like, this thing's just sitting here. Let me do something useful with it. Turned it into an emulation station, and now I could just play anything N64 and PlayStation 1 back, which is kind of nuts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and the best part of it, Raspberry Pi. Pi is spelled P-I.
The best N64 game, I think, was GoldenEye. You guys play that?
Absolutely.
Of course. Have you gone back and tried to play it recently?
No.
Don't do it.
It probably looks terrible.
Yeah, it's just like all of that, like everything that you loved about it. It didn't age well.
Yeah, and then they tried to make a GoldenEye remake, and that was miserable too.
For what?
I think it was definitely on Wii U, and I think it was on 360 and PS3, but I played it on computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't know why I said I played on computer. That just sounded weird.
I played it on a computer once.
I played it on a computer, a PC, a personal computer. It was really, really bad. Like,
I'm trying. Words are hard for me.
I don't understand these words. GoldenEye. But my biggest memory of GoldenEye, my dad, before there was like twin analog sticks, he used to like to play games with me, and he always liked shooting games. So we would play GoldenEye, and verse mode, it was just me versus him, and somehow was enjoyable. But you know my father falls asleep constantly. We were playing, and it was in it was not the library. That was it. No, or Stacks. They look the same. I don't remember which is which.
One of them had books. Pretty sure it's the same level, as far as I remember.
Yeah. So it was one of those, and I kept like sneaking up on him and shooting him, and I killed him like maybe 5 or 6 times in a row without him ever seeing me. And I'm like, like maybe I'm really good at this game. And then I snuck up on him, and I killed him again. And I'm not looking over at my father to see like what's going on. I'm just thinking like I'm a master at GoldenEye because I'm beating the crap out of him. And I remember I turned a corner, and he was just right there, like head on. Like it wasn't like I snuck up on him. and he didn't shoot at me. And I remember laughing, like just walking like in and out, like right in front of him. He wasn't reacting, and I look over and he just passed out sleeping. So that game was so boring. He just went to bed.
Oh, I was playing Halo online with a couple of friends years ago. It was like Halo 1 back on like GameSpy Arcade and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're not talking about
Um,
that again.
yeah, but I was me, James, and me and my friend James and my friend Ivan. Them two, they're together in my friend Ivan's house, and it's a drinking game for them, and I'm just at my house. I'm not drinking, just playing with them. And it's like, it starts off, it's like, oh, if you get killed from a headshot, you have to take a shot. It's like, okay, so like that's what they're doing, right? So, obviously that's what I'm going for at this point, right? So I'm picking up a sniper rifle, I start shooting them in the head, and they're taking shots. And then, like, within about 15 minutes, no matter what happened, you took a shot. It's like, oh, you killed someone, take a shot. Oh, someone killed you, take a shot. Oh, you jumped really high, take a shot. So they're like, they crack open their second bottle of gin because that's what they're drinking.
Oh,
And yeah,
shots of gin.
yeah, and then oh well, on top of that, they're also like, they're just drinking as well as taking the shots when these things would happen. So I'm playing, and I've been just hysterical laughing because he's like a goofy, happy drunk. James, I couldn't really understand what he was saying too much on the, but he so I'm aiming at James, and I'll just never forget this. Like I got a sniper rifle like lined up on his head, and I pull the trigger, and he somehow just dodges it completely. And I was like, how did he even know? Like, right? Like, how could he have possibly? Like, it's like he knew I was about to shoot at that second and quickly went the other way. So
Matrix
I
and
look
shit.
at his character, and his character is still going in that direction. But now he's walking into a wall, and he's just walking up against the wall. I'm like, Ivan, what's going on with James? And he just starts dying because James is passed out on the controller, walking into the wall.
Wow.
Uh,
So in his sleep, he matrixed your bullet.
Yeah, man.
I-
It's just like the series of events. Like he had to, it was at that moment where I was about to get him that he passed out and went the other way. So good.
I still hate Halo, but we're not getting on that topic again. But I wanna get away from games. But before we do that, because of our last podcast, Anthony, Falco is now playing World of Warcraft.
I have
He
lost you, Matt, now Falco, my friend Chris, and my friend James are all back on Warcraft.
Yeah. So not only is Falco
Stealer
playing,
of my friends.
he yeah, like Matt said, it's drugs. No one wants to do it alone. I haven't played in years. My account is now reactivated because I couldn't let Falco take the plunge alone. I had her reactivated and play. But yeah, so because of our show, I'm back into Warcraft, and someone new is losing their life to Warcraft.
well, I'm not losing my life yet to it. I'm still getting used to it.
The only reason you're not losing your life yet is because you can't play without me. He,
Either that or he has self control.
no, he doesn't know how to follow the arrows.
No self-control here.
All right, try to save you, and you throw yourself under the bus, but whatever.
He's looking at the mini map. It's showing an arrow go this way, and he's just running in the opposite direction. I don't see it.
Oh, God.
So, did you watch any movies?
Um,
Don't care because I
recently,
did.
wow, all right.
So,
Great segue, Dick.
no, not even a segue. My mind was absolutely blown, and I feel like I'm gonna blow both your minds right now. I wasn't actually watching like this movie. I saw it. It was on TV, and I didn't watch it. I saw it too many times as a child. My parents used to watch this movie in front of me, and I went to look it up to see when it came out, which I already forgot the year because it is old. I'll get there in a second to what movie this is. And I came across some stuff about this movie that I did not know. So the movie is Grease. Now I'm sure you guys have both seen Grease.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's rated PG. Like it's not an adult film or of any sorts. And I remember we had this one vacation where we were away for like a week, and we had two movies. We had Grease and we had Heavyweights, and we just kept watching these movies over and over again.
Yes, heavyweights, buddy.
The buddy system. We can talk about Heavyweights after I blow your mind with Grease. Do you remember the scene when they're all dancing around the car singing the Grease Lightning song?
No,
I
No.
think I might.
no, I don't
Keep going.
remember. I don't remember the scene of the movie that it's named for.
All right, so you're being sarcastic. You remember them dancing around the car
Of
singing,
course.
right? Do
I
you
also remember
know?
them doing it in Home Improvement.
Well, Home Improvement, I'm sure, didn't have the same lyrics as this Grease song. So when I read
No.
about this, I actually pulled up the actual like the original like video footage to see like this has to be a joke. Like this is not really in a PG movie. So the first thing that comes up about this car now. I now think the car is like they were calling it Grease Lightning. I guess they're referring to the car, but I now think it's not the car. So the first thing that comes up says, "You know that ain't no shit. Will be getting lots of tit in Grease Lightning." And then now, after I say
Took a
this,
turn.
well, after I say this next line, I think it's gonna ring a bell because it rang a bell at me. I was like, "Oh shit, they do say that." I just didn't know what it meant back then. So it says, "You are supreme. The chicks will cream for Grease Lightning."
Can you actually just pull up the entire lyrics to the song and recite them like that? Like just
No, we're not getting into the lyrics of Grease. We're just getting into one more lyric here. This is where I really can't believe that this was PG and that our parents watched this movie with us and in front of us. It says, "You know that I ain't bragging. She's a real pussy wagon." These are actual lyrics from this movie.
Hey, what was it rated at the time?
PG.
Awesome.
Cartoons are barely PG anymore. But they could say pussy wagon back then.
Oh my god. I actually did see two movies recently. I saw like this past week. I don't know how I forgot about them. I saw Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which was fantastic, and another one that was amazing was Wish I Was Here. You heard about that one? Zach Braff. He directed it, and it's one of his like indie type movies. It was just really good, and it's serious. It's got some comedic elements to it, and there's a lot about death going on in it, and it's really sad. And there's just this you're sitting in this dark movie theater, and this movie's got a lot of ups and downs. They have you crack up a few times, but then they really just punch you in the heart. And and there's just one point though where you just you're just kind of beaten down at this point in the movie, and somebody goes and mentions Topanga, California, and somebody in the dark movie theater goes, oh, Topanga.
I hope it was you.
It was so good. I wish it was me. It was so good.
Oh, I do know what this movie is, and I thought that was hysterical. And the other guy from Scrubs showed up in the movie.
Yes, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It is sad though.
Yeah, but it's really good.
Yeah, I don't do too well with sad movies.
You're just gonna be on the plane watching this by yourself, just bawling your eyes out.
Yeah. I really don't watch sad movies, and Dana's trying to get me to watch some more like dramas and sadder movies. But I just watch like.
You mean movies that don't star DMX?
All right.
Your usual go-tos.
Name a bad movie DMX was in, because you can't.
I can't name a movie DMX was in.
Cradle to the Grave was awesome. DMX, Jet Li, Anthony Anderson, fucking great movie.
I love
Never even
Anthony
heard
Anderson.
of that movie.
So funny.
Well, you should watch that movie. That movie is fucking awesome. Exit Wounds, that was another good one.
You got two. That's
No. Well, he was in Romeo Must Die, which was not. He wasn't really too much into that. But that was a good freaking movie. Now I'm kind of drawing a blank here. Oh, Never Die Alone. That was a good one. That was
Oh,
with
I have not seen any of these movies.
David Arquette was in that. You like David Arquette?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider him like a great actor. I just think he's funny. Foreign object.
Ready to Rumble is still one of my favorite movies.
Jimmy King is the best wrestler.
He's the
He's the
best,
bestler.
better
Better
than
than all
all
the
the wrestlers.
wrestlers. He's got class. He's real fast. He'll rule ass.
Falco, did you ever see Ready to Rumble?
No, I never saw it.
Do you even know what we're talking about?
Completely lost for the past 30 seconds.
No idea.
Back when WCW was a thing,
Uh-huh.
this is a movie with Scott Can or Con, whatever the hell you say his name, and David Arquette, and a fictional wrestler, Jimmy the King. But then there was real wrestlers like
Platt.
what?
Oliver Platt.
Yeah,
King.
Oliver Platt. There was real wrestlers like Diamond Dallas Page was in it, Goldberg was in it, Sting was in it, and it was just all about wrestling was no longer fake; it was real, and these people were fighting for something. But the best part of this is they made like there was a special match with a triple cage. It was a cage on top of another cage on top of another cage, and then WCW thought that'd be a great thing to actually implement into their stuff, and they had a triple cage match. And then the other great thing that the WCW thought would be a fantastic idea is, hey, David Arquette was in this movie. Let's make him a wrestler, and he was briefly a wrestler in the WCW.
God, as soon as you said WCW, my head exploded because it just brought me back to playing WCW NWO Revenge on the
Revenge.
N64. Oh my
That was a
god,
good
how
game,
great
too.
was that game?
I used
So
to just
good.
do the battle royals.
The Battle Royal.
Yes,
And
that
you
was one of the best party games.
we would play it with where if you got knocked out of the ring, you were out. So like you'd have like just tons and tons of people running in, and as soon as they run in the ring, you just clothesline them and throw them out.
At this year's PAX East, they had a WCW NWO Revenge or one of those N64 wrestling games, Battle Royal,
Nice.
and there was some kind of tournament, like all like the game people did it.
That's awesome.
I wish I could have been part of that, but I probably suck at that game now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when you go back and play those games, it hurts.
I feel like that game wouldn't hurt though.
It probably wouldn't be too bad.
Some games just don't hurt. Like Mario 64 never hurts. That game
Oh, no,
doesn't
that
hit
game-
old.
Game's fantastic.
Tell you what game does freaking hurt. Ocarina of Time. Fuck off.
Oh no way.
I've come to the conclusion Zelda, they're not good games.
It's just not your thing, then.
No, I think like people just want them to be good, and that they make them good because they want it to be.
I think you just don't like it. That's okay.
But no, Zelda's the type of genre of a game that I typically like. I just don't like Zelda. I don't think they're good. Yeah. Rupees, really?
This is what bothers you. The money system.
Like Ocarina of Time when he's like, baby Link and Ganondorf is like normal like Ganondorf, and then you're adult Link and he's still like normal Ganondorf. Why isn't it like older Ganondorf?
What does it matter? Dude, you're looking. No, just stop.
Did you ever play those horrible? Well, not horrible. I think they were one of the better ones, but the Game Boy Advance Zeldas.
I just played the remake of Link to the Past. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was Link Between.
I played that one, which was awesome.
Did you play Link to the Past?
Yeah.
And you still thought it was awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it was the same thing, like just laziness.
It was the same thing. It was just a remake on the Game Boy Advance.
But they didn't really totally market it that way.
Yeah, they did.
I feel like they tried to market it as a new.
No, it was that, and then it was like that and Four Swords. It was like 2 games in one.
Four Swords was a catastrophe. The only thing that was cool about that was that multiplayer.
Isn't that all it was? I didn't even try it, but isn't that all that the Four Swords was?
No,
There's more to it than just the multiplayer.
I think so. Unless I'm thinking of the wrong game, which is quite possible.
Is this anything else?
There might not have been. But I pulled up DMX on IMDb. Apparently, he was in an episode of Third Watch.
Third Watch.
IMDb is the best.
everything you need is there.
Seriously.
It's oh wow. I'm looking at stuff he was in. I pretty much named almost all the movies he was in because he wasn't in that many. But I forgot about one called Lockjaw, which was about a giant snake, and
Oh, good.
he was like some weird like witch doctor type of guy. It was really awkward to watch.
Oh,
Probably a
That
terrible movie.
It was a terrible movie, and that's like the type of movie like I watch so many terrible movies, and when you see like written and directed by this person, like I would use an alias if I was putting out movies like this. Like I would not want my name anywhere near some of these things, and Lockjaw is one of those. I don't get it. Lockjaw just sounds like a terrible disease.
it is a thing.
Yeah, but like I'm picturing like something different.
Right.
Picturing like some kind of like I'm picturing a venereal disease called lockjaw. And now I just have the scene from Waiting in my head, where the gay guy is talking about the name chlamydia, saying it's
Oh
just
my
a pretty
god,
name.
I love that movie.
Did you ever see Still Waiting?
No, you've told me to watch it like 18 times and I still haven't seen it.
It is nowhere near as good as Waiting, but it is pretty funny. Like there's some good scenes. Like I'm sure Falco would appreciate this. One of the guys he takes over like the asshole type role that Ryan Reynolds was having,
Mm.
and they were talking about like the perfect like tit size, what it is, and like they're saying like B's, C's, whatever, and he's like, give me those dirty doubles, like you want. so, so then someone else is like, but then they sag and they get in the way, and you see him like thinking, like he's like looking up in the air, pondering, and then he like snaps. He's like, fuck him in the pool. Buoyancy comes into effect. It had some good lines, that movie.
I can't top the first one though.
First one was it's a classic.
Ryan Reynolds and Justin Long, like their chemistry in that movie was awesome.
Yeah, I was just watching Family Guy when Ryan Reynolds was on there. Did you ever see that episode?
I don't think I have.
He voices himself, like it actually is him, and he's like kind of like gay with Peter, like he's like tickle fights and all weird stuff. It's a very awkward episode to watch. But Ryan Reynolds, I thought I loved Ryan Reynolds. I think all his movies recently, and by recently I mean like the past like 10 years, have say excluding Waiting because I don't remember when that came out. They all suck. He has like no good movies. I don't know why I thought I liked him.
Something that he was in that I liked.
Wasn't he in some of the Van Wilder movies?
He was in the first,
Oh, in the first one, yeah.
That wasn't that bad of a movie.
Oh, that was good.
but that was old. Like,
No.
That
How old is it? It's within the
gotta-
last 10 years, I think.
Van Wilder. We'll look this crap up. We have computers.
Ooh, 2002.
Close
So
enough.
so let's look. His more recent things: R.I.P.D., which was a huge flop; Green Lantern, which was a huge flop; Safe House, which I want to watch and have.
That was actually pretty good.
I forgot he had that cameo in Ted. That was.
I don't even remember that. I saw Ted once.
He was. I think Justin Long was his cameo with him. He was Justin Long's boyfriend, or whoever the other guy was. I think it was him. It was his boyfriend. Didn't really speak. He was just there.
I'm looking at the same list of things that he's been on. It's this Family Guy, overweight guy, Ryan Reynolds.
I really hope that they don't actually go ahead with the Deadpool movie with him in it.
Mm.
I love Deadpool, but he doesn't
Well,
have.
he could play Deadpool though, like the actual Deadpool, not whatever they did.
Yeah, at the end of X-Men, whatever. Yeah. He couldn't even talk. That's not Deadpool.
He's great in Just Friends. You see that?
Yes, that's a great
That
movie.
movie's fantastic.
I did see it. I don't remember.
You doing it, choices?
The chubby bunny against the pancakes. That's funny.
What the hell is the girl's name in that? It's the same girl from Waiting.
What was her name? Well,
Oh, Anna Faris.
yes.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just like when they have him in that fat suit, though, he's got his retainer, and he's like, "Oh, Jamie Palomino."
So I'm looking at IMDb, and I really hope that this, like you were talking about Amazon ads, how like they track what you do and then they put like the right advertisements.
Yeah,
So
that's
on the
scary.
right on the right side of IMDb, like it has like user lists that like I guess it thinks I should look at, and the first one says cute guys in random order. The next one says my list of 25 hottest actors. The next one says hottest guys in order, and then the one after that says X-Men fan cast. I really hope that this is just things that Ryan
This is
Reynolds.
all because I was gonna say this is all because you searched Ryan Reynolds. It's like, oh, he's gay.
He likes the men.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know who these people. I'm not looking at this list. Why am I looking at the hot guy list? I gotta stop this. I actually clicked on it. I have a problem.
All right, Brian, get us out of here.
Yeah, I gotta stop looking at list of hot male celebrities and get us out of this thing. So first off, though, before we get out of here, I got the analytics back for our podcast, and I want to thank everyone who's been listening because the number is bigger right now than I thought it would be when we finished our podcast adventure.
3 years down the road, of maybe we had 6 people that downloaded it, 3 of which being the 3 people that started.
So definitely thank you for anyone who's listening because the numbers that are there's random people listening. So thank you. We definitely appreciate it. We're having a good time doing this. So we hope you're having a good time listening.
That's about all we have for this week. You can always reach us on Twitter. I'm at AEJ Costanzo. Brian's at @big_Bruins. I want to thank Falco for coming in and filling in for Matt this week, who's a dick.
I just want to get this out there about Matt. He spoke to us. We were supposed to start doing this at like 11 o'clock, and he's nowhere to be found. We're on here waiting for him. 11:23, I call him, and he tells me he'll be on at 11:20.
And he's like adamant about it. No.
Like a few minutes, 20.
11:20. I'll be on in a few minutes.
We can only hope that he's on a trip that we didn't know about and he's at Central Time. But then he just disappeared, and we don't know where he went. So, Falco, thank you for coming filling in for him. We appreciate
Thanks, guys. No problem.
it. And hopefully we'll see you on here again soon.
Hopefully you guys have me again.
Definitely.
If you have any questions for us or comments, you can reach us at sspodcast1@gmail.com.
And also, don't be afraid to give us a rating on iTunes. We will read those too. We need ratings.
I'm afraid. You said you were gonna take us out. You're gonna close the show. And then it's like, Anthony, take us out.